Alright, today we're kind of going back to some of our stuff we did last year. We're going to be solving by taking a square root. So this is just basic equation solving stuff. You just have to undo the square at the very end. With the exception, we might have to do some imaginary numbers to actually make these work. So let's go through this and see if we can figure this out. So let's go and start with number 1. So 7p squared plus 10 equals 73. So again, the goal anytime you're solving an equation is to get the variable all by itself. So you minus 10 to each side gives you 7p squared is equal to 63. And then we got to divide by 7. And that leaves p squared is equal to 63 divided by 7 is 9. So positive 9. Now we've got to do the square root. Now, one thing you guys may have gotten out of the practice a little bit is remember when you square a number, whether it's 2 squared or negative 2 squared, you're going to get the same answer, right? You're going to get a positive 4. So this p, when you square root it, there are two possibilities. P could either equal 3 or p could equal a negative 3. Both are possible answers, so you got to write down both answers today. That becomes very important because sometimes you don't know which answer it is that you need, and sometimes only one of them can be right when we get into the later math here. Okay? Now, next one. Let's look at number 5. So number 5. Well, no, let's do number 3. Number 3 is a little tricky, so let's do it. So number 3, again, we want to get the p by itself, so we're going to add 1 to each side. Add 1 gives me 6p squared is equal to negative 59. And then, oh boy, we got to divide by 6, right? Unfortunately, 59 does not divide by 6. So we're going to have to leave it as negative 59. Can I simplify it at all? No? Okay. So that gives me p squared is equal to negative 59 over 6. Well, here we run into a problem because we got a square root, right? Square root both sides. And we run into an issue that we also have to square root the 6. So I have a problem here because I've got a negative in here that I've got to pull out. And then I've also got to rationalize this. So let's look at this. So I'm going to rewrite this with the I in front. Okay? Of square root of 59. And it's over the square root of 6. Now, to rationalize it, I've got to multiply each side by the square root of 6. And when I do that, 59 times 6 is 354. And then it becomes just 6 on the bottom. So I have I square root of 354 all over 6. That's one answer. So p is going to either equal that or p is going to equal negative I square root of 354 over 6. So that's a bit of a beast of an answer, but that is the answer. That's as simple as we can get it. So we can't break down the 354 anymore, and that's as simple as we're going to get it. I think that's the most beastly one you'll see on this worksheet. So it's probably, oh, there's another one that's almost as beastly, but that's as beastly as you're probably going to see. Let's do another one just to kind of make sure we got this before we stop here. So let's say I have, let's do number 7. So we minus 8 gives me 25x squared is equal to 72 minus 8, 64. Then I got to divide by 25, gives me x squared is equal to 64 over 25. Can I simplify that all? I can take out a 2, right? No, I can't. Take out a 5? No. What could I do to simplify that? That's as simple as it gets. Okay. Well, gonna have to do what I did before when I square root. So square root of these two things, square root of 64 over square root of 25. Then I got to rationalize times both sides by square root of 25. And 64 times 25, 1600. So square root of 1600, that should have a normal square root. And then over 25. So square root of 1600 is 40. So I have 40 over 25, and that'll simplify. I can take out a 5, because that's like 5 times 8, and 5 times 5. Cancels out. We're left with x equaling 8 over 5, or x is equaling negative 8 over 5. So if you end up with the fraction at the end, remember you're going to have to rationalize to get your answers. So a little bit trickier, extra step in there, but I mean, it's not really hard math. It's just multiplying. You guys can do it.